Hello, it's Tarot Tuesday, and today I would like to talk about gun violence and white nationalist terrorism and addressing these issues and how we can do that and be open and have decent conversations rather than fighting because we are destroying ourselves. The United States right now is the Tower card. Things are crumbling, things are out there, things are everywhere. And the fact that there have been 251 mass shootings in 216 days means that we need to fix something. We have hit our rock bottom, and we need to talk about why we are listening to such divisiveness. Many of us, how many of us are running scared from nothing. This country was built on immigration. This country was built on the solid notion that anyone can come here and be free, and we're denying rights to so many right now. So many who are seeking asylum, so many poor children. We're destroying ourselves from the inside. And many of us who claim to be religious but say, well, laws exist for a reason and locks exist for a reason, and that's all fine and good. But when we have a fear-mongering leader who pushes hateful rhetoric and also gives mentally ill people the capacity to obtain firearms that can do massive amounts of damage and ruin thousands of lives within moments, we're not doing ourselves any justice. What would Jesus do? He would be leading the fight to stop this. And that's where I would like to start with our gemstones, which for your root chakra, you can use carnelians, you can use bloodstone, which is the stone of Jesus Christ. This contains the blood, the actual blood of Christ. This is a very powerful stone for healing and rooting down and manifestation. Or you can use any black stone. Here I have an obsidian, and you want to hold on to this stone and you want to feel yourself rooting down and knowing that you and your neighbors have a place in this world that is equal. And then you want to take your orange stones. Here I have a red gold stone, and you want to hold on to that for your sacral chakra, and you want to feel jealousy and rage and desire to hurt disappear, and only have desire to build and to see things grow, yourself and your neighbors. And then you want to take your citrine or your tiger's eye, and you want to take this and you want to get that anger out of your gut, and you just want to pull it out. And you want to start to portray a cleaner, healthier, happier, more secure you, because again, we are all equal. There is no need to get your panties in a wad because you think that someone else might be taking something from you and you're supposed to be superior to them. None of that exists. No one is superior and no one is above the law. And next, you want to take your jade or your malachite or even your rose quartz, and you want to take the hatred out of your heart and put it somewhere else. Bury it. Because hatred and fear-mongering is what's gotten us into this mess. And then we want to get up to our throat chakra, our Larimar, aquamarine, blue topaz, turquoise. And you want to take all of the unkind words toward people that you don't know and push them aside. Speak true words to people. But raise your words, not your voice. It is the rain that grows the flowers, not the thunder. I have paraphrased Rumi there, but I think I've gotten the gist. And then we want to take our lapis lazuli and really begin to understand and open not just these two eyes, but the third eye, to see the truth of what's going on and how we are destroying America and how the rest of the world is seeing us. And if that's not enough, take your amethyst to your crown chakra and connect with your Godhead, whether it is prayer in whatever language, mantra in whatever language. You want to connect to that and understand that there are millions of people in the world right now doing the exact same thing you're doing. But instead of all of this division and hatred, start to come together collectively to realize that we are all the same. And you want to boost that with your quartz crystal. You want to smooth things over with your moonstone and start to even things out. You want to bring in your selenite for full protection, not just for yourself, but for your neighbors. And when I say neighbors, not the people just to the right and to the left, but our neighbors in other cities, in other towns, in other states, in other countries. We're all neighbors. We still all have to share this planet together. And if you know of gun threats, speak out and tell everyone, every authority you can, because in many cases, so many gun deaths can be avoided if the local authorities are just pushed enough to look into it. And that's what happened with me, is the local authorities and the state authorities did not want to look into this. And there was so much damage done to my business and to me psychologically. And it all stems from discrimination and racism and white nationalist terrorism and these thoughts that these men, it's always these white men, are superior to the rest of us. So before I go, I'd like to share a story that I learned from Dr. Vasant Lad of the Ayurvedic Institute. And this is when I was at the Ananda Ashram taking a course with him in 2015. And the subject of race had come up, and racism is based on the idea or the notion that someone is either above or beneath someone else based on the color of their skin and their features and their attributes. But those features and attributes exist because of where your DNA comes from geographically in the world, and your bodies need to survive in those conditions. So south of the equator, we have darker skin, wider noses, bigger eyes, different hair, things that do not get affected by the sun so much. And as we move up at the northern hemisphere, we have lighter hair, lighter eyes, lighter skin, smaller noses, different things like that to deal with the severe cold. And then everyone in between is pretty much a merge of the rest. Try a DNA test, see where you're from, start looking things up, start to realize that migration patterns and all of these things have been happening for centuries, for millennia. And the notion that we are better or worse than someone else because of our sex, because of our sexual orientation, because of our tattoos, because of who we love, because of the color of our skin. These things are only made up in society to keep us afraid. So balance your chakras, say your prayers, but take action. And check out my blog, AskRoabout.life, for today's blog, Come Together, and you'll see how I tie this all together. Thank you, and namaste. And end gun violence. Because the NRA is a terrorist organization, and Moscow Mitch and Traitor Trump